Most video games cost $60. That's how it should be. But to rake in maximum profits and to create a financial hierarchy in their games, a lot of developers rely on in-game item sales. From DLC to community market items to items you buy directly for use in-game, these items can be infinitely more expensive than the games themselves. Hey guys, ArcadeCloud here, and today we're counting down our top 10 most expensive microtransactions in video games. If you're new to our channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with some friends. It's free. Just to preface this video, we aren't going to be using any prices for virtual items that didn't sell. For instance, people putting up cosmetics on third-party websites that are worth 2 cents but are being priced at $1 million don't count. Instead, we'll only be including third-party purchases from other players if they actually sold for that amount. At number 10, we have the 15,400 Plex package from EVE Online. Most in-game currency packages stop at $99.99, but not in this game. This wad of in-game cash will cost you an actual wad of real cash, a whopping $500. Keep in mind, EVE Online is free to play, which is cool, but encouraging people to spend hundreds of dollars on in-game items? Not cool. The kind of people who would be willing to spend $500 on a video game probably shouldn't be taken advantage of like that. If people truly have addictions to in-game items, the last thing companies should be doing is taking advantage of that. What's worse is that in EVE Online, a lot of your assets that you can buy in the game can be permanently destroyed or stolen by other players, meaning you'll have to keep spending more and more money to keep your advantage. What a mess. At number 9, we have the Apathy Bear Gun from Gun Bros. This mobile game, developed by Glue Games, was a fairly basic twin-stick top-down shooter. In order to get newer, more powerful weapons, the player must either grind through levels slowly to earn the weapons, or just buy them outright with real-world money. And how much does the most expensive weapon cost? About $600. Yeah, $600 for a mobile game weapon. Can you even believe that there's 8 more numbers on this list? I can't even begin to do the insane mental gymnastics required to think that putting a $600 weapon in your game is a good idea. It really doesn't make your business look very good. At number 8, we have the total cost of unlocking all of the content in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Arguably EA's biggest public relations problem to date, Battlefront 2 has received some heavy backlash for its pay-to-win tactics. A Reddit user calculated that in order to unlock every item in the game, you'd need to spend about $2,100 on loot boxes. $2,100. Remember when you used to buy a game and all the unlockables were just earned through playing the game? This, of course, is after you spend $60 purchasing the base game. So that's $2,160 total for the full Battlefront 2 experience. Looks like EA is channeling the Empire here. What a joke. At number 7, we have Train Simulator 2015's DLC. If you thought Battlefront 2 was bad, just wait until you hear how much this DLC pack costs in its entirety. To unlock all of the different trains in this game, a player would have to spend about $4,400. For virtual trains? Really? If you buy these, let's hope you're either really rich or super into train simulators. Now, it is true that you can buy these trains individually, but why should you have to pick and choose trains that you buy on the fly? Shouldn't a true, full-on simulator game come packed with as much content and as many possibilities as possible? What a blatant cash grab. At number 6, we have Rocksmith. You know, the Guitar Hero style game that uses an actual guitar as a controller? The one that tries to teach you guitar through a video game? Well, it turns out if you want the complete library of songs, including all of the DLC, it's gonna run you a whopping $5,363.76. Now, to be fair, you do get a lot of songs, and all of those songs are also teaching tools letting you learn how to play each of them. But why spend that much on a video game when you can just get one-on-one guitar lessons for the same price? You might as well at that point. Sure, Rocksmith teaches you how to play certain songs, but it sure doesn't teach you much about music theory or how to write songs. At number 5, we have the Echoing Fury Mace from Diablo 3. One of these items sold between players for a whopping $9,700. Why, you ask? The weapon had near-perfect stats back when that actually mattered in Diablo. Now there's much better weapons, and that once $9,700 weapon is worth about $0. Ouch. I wouldn't want to have been the guy who bought that one. Why spend almost $10K on a virtual weapon when you can probably get a real mace custom made for real-life use? Or give that money to charity or something? I don't know, maybe just don't take any video games seriously enough to spend near 10 grand on a bunch of ones and zeros. At number 4, we have the unusual Burning Flames Team Captain hat from Team Fortress 2. It's sort of become a meme in the TF2 community, mainly because it seems a little bit short-sighted to buy a rare hat if it's just gonna illuminate your head nice and bright for all the snipers on 2-Fort to aim at. In its prime, this hat has sold for $14,000 between players, sometimes even more. Come on, guys, you gotta have better stuff to do with your money than this. It's purely cosmetic, and it really doesn't look all that interesting, to be honest. It's just a flaming captain hat. There's much cooler hats out there for much less money. Excellent, great call spending $14K on that virtual hat. No wonder Valve decided to bring microtransactions to CSGO. Y'all will buy anything. Speaking of Valve, at number 3, we have Dota 2's most sought-after courier. Let me try to read this name in one take here. The Ethereal Flames Pink War Dog. What a mouthful. Now, this pink pooch not only fetches your items for you, but it also fetches one of the highest prices I've ever seen for a digital item. $20,000? No. $30,000? A little closer, but no. It's $38,000. Now, after doing a bit of research since I don't play Dota, this is the perfect combination of the most wanted type, color, and visual effect, making the price super high. What actually? What even? Valve doesn't even set these prices. This was actively agreed upon by two parties. Yes, I'll take your 36 grand in exchange for this pink puppy that brings you items in your video game and looks cool. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to invest this money, or buy a car, or anything else with that $38,000 that isn't an absolute waste. At number 2, we have the Diamond Chisel from a mobile game called Curiosity. If this list was top 10 most greedy microtransactions that assume the players are rich idiots, this would most definitely be number 1. But it's not, so this only comes in at number 2. Peter Molyneux, the creator of many games like the Fable series and Populous, decided to create an experiment. What was this experiment? To see if curiosity alone was enough to get people to spend $77,000 on a virtual chisel. See, the game was simple. You slowly chipped away at a massive cube full of billions of tiny blocks with thousands of players around the world. The catch? Only the player who managed to break the very last cube gets to see what's inside the cube. So this diamond chisel did about 100,000 times more damage to the cube than the average person, making the process much quicker and increasing your chances of winning the experiment. What was the surprise? A prize! You got special privileges in his new game, Goddess, and you got a percentage of the revenue of that game. Only, whoops, the game still hasn't come out and has basically been canceled. The guy didn't get his prize. Thanks for this 77 grand! And finally, at number 1, we have an interesting entry indeed. Okay, so I wasn't aware of this until I started doing research for this video, but there's a game called Entropia Universe. Previously titled Project Entropia, it's a game that uses virtual currency that can be bought using real money, traded for items, and then withdrew back into real money. To make things as simple to explain as possible, this game is more like a platform for community members to develop their own civilizations, worlds, and games in. The company that created Entropia have stuck deals with private companies to have them take ownership over certain planets and locations within their massive universe. The biggest buy? Planet Calypso, the most popular destination in the game as far as I can tell, was sold to a private company for $6 million. Think about that for a second and try to wrap your head around what that means. A corporation purchased a virtual planet that exists inside a video game that another corporation operates for $6 million. This could have been anyone, as planets change ownership as long as you have exchanged in-game currency with the previous owner and discoverer of the planet. So this actually technically counts as a microtransaction. $6 million. I seriously cannot believe that. Can you guys? Who actually would spend that much money on a virtual item like that? There you have it, our list of the top 10 most expensive microtransactions in video games. Do you agree? Did we miss something? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos from ArcadeCloud on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Take care and game on.